Hi everyone and welcome. Today I would like to suggest something more about shell voicings. If you haven't watched the last video, I suggest watching it before just to understand what's shell voicing and in which way we can play it on the guitar. Today we are going to add something more to what we already know if you have seen the video. So, for example, a shell voicing, anyway, is a chord in which I play the root, the third, and the seventh of a given chord. So, for example, this is a D minor 7, and I am playing root, minor third, and minor 7. Okay, starting from this, now I would like to suggest to play roots and then alternate roots and fifths for each chord. So, for example, if I start D minor 7 in a B position and then I go to G7 in A position, and then I go to C major 7 in a B position, and if you don't know A position, B position, watch the last video. In that I explain everything. So, B position, D minor 7, A position, G7, and B position, C major 7. I can do the same starting from an A position, D minor 7, B position, G7, A position, C major 7. Now, what we are going to do is alternating roots and fifths. And we will do it always playing roots and fifths on the two lowest strings of our guitar, on the fifth and on the sixth string of our guitar. So for example, if I play D minor 7 like this is the root D, I can play this position with A as lowest note. In this case, I'm alternating root and fifth. Then I go to G7, and now I'm playing it in an A position with the root as lowest note, and then I alternate it with the fifth, then D note. As you can see, I'm moving the lowest note, but the third and seventh stay in the same position. Then I play C major 7 and I play the G note as lowest note. This is the fifth. So root, fifth, root, fifth. Of course I can do the same starting from D minor in an A position. So here it's the root, and I can alternate it with the fifth. Root, fifth, root, fifth. The two guide tones, third and seventh, remain in the same position. G7, root, fifth, root, fifth. C major 7, root, fifth, root, fifth. Okay, in this way we can have this possibility of in some way imitating a kind of bass line in which we alternate roots and fifths. Now, next step that I suggest is playing these two notes, roots and fifths, on the two highest strings of our guitar. So instead of playing them as lowest notes, we will play them as highest notes. So for example, starting from a B position for D minor, I can take the D note, which is the root, and play it on the second string. And the position will be like this. So third, seventh, and root. I can do the same for G7. The root now is the lowest, but I am going to play it on the first string. 7, third, and root on top. And then C major 7, the root now is the lowest note, and then I move it an octave higher, and this is the position, 3rd, 7 and root. I can repeat the process starting from a D minor 7 in A position. The root is the lowest now, but I want to move it here. This is D minor 7 with the root on top. G7. This is the G note, root. I move it here on the 2nd string. And then C major 7. We have the root as lowest note. We move it here on the 1st string, and we have this position. So in this way we are looking around, we are finding these notes around 3rd and 7, you know. And we can repeat the process for the 5th. So now this is a D minor 7 with the root as lowest note. I move it to the 5th. This is a D minor 7 with the 5th as lowest note, and then I take the 5th and I move it an octave, 2 octaves higher, and this is D minor 7 with the 5th on top. Then I play G7, I move the root to the 5th, it's the D note, and I look for the D note on the 2nd string, and this is G7 with the 5th on top. Then I play C major 7, I move the root to the 5th, and then I look for this note on the highest string, and this is C major 7, 3rd, major 7 and 5th. And of course I can repeat the process starting from the A position, D minor 7, the root is the lowest note, then I move it to the 5th, it's the A note, and I look for this note on the 2nd string, and I find out this chord, which is 7th, 3rd and 5th. Then I go to G7, I move the root to the 5th, it is the D note, and I look for the D note on the 1st string. This is 3rd, minor 7th and 5th for G7. And then I go to C major 7, I play the root, I move it to the 5th, and it's the G note, and now I look for the G note on the 2nd string. So major 7, 3rd, major 3rd, and perfect 5th for C major 7. In this way we are understanding something around 3rds and 7ths, and we are hearing the sound of roots and 5ths in different positions, always connected with the sound of 3rds and 7ths. And you can of course start comping songs using these positions. You can play a song using only roots on top, a song using only 5ths on top, and the same using them as lowest notes. So you can learn something more about guitar, I think, and then of course next step will be moving these roots and 5ths, but we will talk about that in the next video. If you want to leave a comment, to ask something, or if you want to like the video, or if you want to subscribe to watch next videos that I publish, you are welcome here on my YouTube channel. See you next video. Bye bye.